Welcome back friends, how are you? In this video we'll talk about database management system introduction video etc. So what is a database? Database is a collection of interrelated data and a set of program to access those data. Okay, so the main objective of the database DBMS is to provide a way to store and retrieve database information conveniently and effectively or efficiently. So what is DBMS? So data DBMS. So D stands for database, M for management, S for system. So data means what? Anything can be the data. We can store student information, we can store customer information, we can store traveler information, we can store patient information, and we store all this. So the collection of data, we can say it is a database. And to manage this one, we have to implement some methods, we have to write some software, and S means for system is what? It is software. So through DBMS, through the SysSys software, we can manage the database. Are you getting this? Now, database systems are designed to manage large data. So generally we use this one for the large database because if the data set is very small, 50 MB or 20 MB, in that case we should not use database. So that is the overhead. Now the purpose of the DBMS, so three basic purposes are there. First purpose is what? Defining the structure of the storing data. So we have to define the structure, how many tables should be there, how many attributes should be there, what should be the data type of the attribute. Okay. Providing mechanism for the manipulation of the information. Okay. What are the things we can implement? How to insert the data, how to identify the addition, subtraction, how to retrieve the data, how to get the average of the data. Okay, and ensure the safety of the data. Okay, so from the system crash or authorization, unauthorized access. So these are the three main purposes: defining the structure of the storing data, defining the table, providing the mechanism to manipulate the data, and ensure the safety of the data. So application, so everywhere, it is one of the god of the computer science. So we can use everywhere in the database system. Say for example, banking, airlines, medical, finance, technology, sales, manufacturing, up to infinite. So infinite applications are there. Now various DBMS are there. So popular DBMS are there. Oracle. Oracle is a popular DBMS. SQL Server. Okay. So Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL. So it's a free software. Okay. MS Access, it is for Microsoft database. IBM Cloud, so that database provided by the IBM, PostgreSQL, DB2, SQLite, Apache Cassandra, okay, Bigtable, Interbase, PouchDB, all are the databases. Okay, so why DBMS? Why not file processing system? Now before DBMS came along, organization usually store data in a file processing system. The system stores permanent records in various files, and it needs different applications program to extract records from and add records to the application file. So it's the old technology where we use dedicated software for the specific tasks. It is not a generalized software. Okay, we cannot do everything using the file processing system. Now, few disadvantages of file processing systems are there, and these are nothing but the advantage of DBMS. Okay, so these are, you can say, disadvantage of file processing system, or you can say advantage of DBMS. Now, disadvantage of file processing system is the data redundancy and inconsistency. So if you store data in a file processing system, so data will be redundant. Redundant means what? Same data stored in various locations. Or inconsistency. Inconsistency means what? So suppose here same data stored in different value. Okay, same data stored in different value in different location. Suppose roll number here, roll number 1, name. Roll number 1, say here it is, the name is Raj. Okay, and in another table, roll number name is what? And Rahim. Are you getting this one? So in a roll number 1, in a one table it is Raj, another table it is Rahim. So definitely inconsistency is there. Okay, now difficulty in accessing data. Definitely if it is a file processing system, so it will be very difficult to access the data. Now data isolation. Now here data isolation means file processing system do not provide data isolation. So data isolation means what? Unaware about the other transaction. Means what? So uh, independently any table can work, okay, which is not possible in the file processing system. Next, integrity problem. Integrity problem is various type of integrity constraints are there that we cannot implement in file processing system, but we can implement in DBMS. Now, atomicity problem, all or none. So execute all the programs or do not execute any program. So that we can implement easily in DBMS, but that is not possible in file processing system. Now, concurrent access. Now, in file processing system, we cannot implement concurrent access, but it is possible in DBMS. And finally, security. So DBMS is much more secure than the file processing system. So these are few points. These are the few disadvantages of file processing system, or you can say these are few advantages of database management system. We can implement all these things in DBMS. Next, we'll talk about view of data. Now, the main goal of database system is to provide users with an abstract view of the data. That is, the system hides certain implementation details of how the data are stored and maintained. See, the storing of the data and maintaining data is a very complex process. But if for simple user don't want all these things, so we have to hide all this, how to store it and how to implement it, how to manipulate it. So we have to hide this one. So in that hide we can hide this particular, hiding that particular data is called view of the data. Now 3 levels are there. So we can see here. So levels of the data abstraction: physical level, logical level, and the view level. So in physical level, we explain how the data are actually stored. Use complex data structure. So in this particular, actually data are stored in a memory. Okay, it may be the heap memory, it may be the sequential file, block wise, okay, and so on. Next is our logical level, what data are stored and what relations exist among those data. So here we define what are the data we have to store, what are the type of the data, okay, what are the relations between the data. And this is what the view level, where actually users are there. So here users are there to expose part of the database, okay, as required by the users with application. Say in a table, say 100 attributes are there, okay, but a simple user don't want 100 attributes. The user need only these 3 attributes. So we can say this is what view 1. Other user needs only these 2 attributes. So we can say this is what our view 1, this is what our view 2. So all these views are defined in this particular view level, and user can use only the view. Are you getting this one? Next concept is what? Instance and schema. Now, first of all, what is schema? The overall design of the database is called the database schema. So this is what our database schema, where 2 attributes are there, roll number and name. So schema is nothing but a structure of the database. Okay. Now next is what? Instance. The collection of the data stored in the database at a particular time is called the instance. Now you can see here the schema is this one, where 2 attributes are there, roll number and name, but here nothing is there. So this is what the instance is, what the data is vacant. After second day, 2 students are there, roll number 1 and roll number 2, Gaurav and Ankit. So that means now the instance is what? Only 2 records are there, but the schema is same. In this case, here we add one more address, say one more attribute, that is address. That means what? Now we are changing the schema. Okay, and we are add some more information, say 1 Gaurav Chennai, 3 Seema Mumbai, and if you add one more address, say 4 roll number 4, okay, name say Krishna, and address say Nainital. So that information, that means what? We are storing information, means what? We are changing the instance. Are you getting this one? So we can see one example. Suppose train is there. Okay, so train, these are what? These are the bogies. Okay, now we can say this is nothing but a schema. Okay, now suppose one platform, here one it's stored. So suppose first station, suppose five travelers are there. So that means instance is what? Only 5 are there. In a second station, 2 traveler left and 3 more traveler board this particular train. So that means what? The instance are changed, but the schema is what? Same. Are you getting this one? So schema is that overall design of the database. So this is nothing but our schema. Okay, overall design, and instance is what? The data stored in the database at a particular time. That is called instance. So here both the schema are same, but instance are not same. Okay, here instance are not same and schema are not same, because here we add one more attribute. One concept is there that is called subschema. Now schema at the view level, that is called subschema. Now suppose here one table is there, student table, where roll number, name, address is there. So this is what the whole structure is called as schema, but we need only these two information, roll number, name. So we define the view for that, and that particular view is called subschema. Next schema is called physical data independence. Okay, now physical schema, it describes the database design at the physical level. So here in physical level we describe where the data is stored, in which format, it is in linked list or it is in array. Okay, whether the file system is what, sequential file system or hashing file system, or how to accommodate the block. Okay, so if an application program does not depend on the physical schema, suppose here this is nothing but suppose one application program is there, and this is what our, say this is where you use linked list. Now suppose if you change the application program, now suppose we are using P1, so now we don't want P1, now suppose we need P2. So question is, can you easily change the application program? Is it necessary to change the physical level? If it is not required, then it is called physical data independence. That means what? Irrespective of the physical level, we can change the application program. That concept is called physical data independence. And dependency means what? Suppose here you want to change linked list to array. In that case, if it is required to change the application program, that means we can say physical data dependency is there. But if you want to change linked list to array, but you don't want to don't require to change this particular application program, that means we can say it is a physical data independence. Next concept is what? The data model. Now data model defines the structure of the database. That is the main thing. It defines the structure of the database, how to describe the data relationship, data semantics, consistency, etc. Data model provides a way to describe the design of the database at the physical, logical, and the view level. Okay, so it describes how the data must be present in the physical level, how to define all the logical, and how to define the views. So few examples are there: relational model, entity relationship model, object-based data model, and semi-structured data model. For example, XML we use. Next is what? Database language. Now see, Oracle is what? It is a DBMS. What is SQL? SQL is a structured query language. Now, what is the difference between Oracle and SQL? So, SQL is a programming language, Oracle is a DBMS. That means what? Suppose one Oracle is there, to retrieve the data, to store the data, and to retrieve the data, we use SQL. So, SQL is a tool, SQL is a language through which we can access the Oracle. Similarly, if DB2 is there, it's another DBMS. Here also we can use SQL to store the data, to retrieve the data, to manipulate the data. Are you getting this one? And SQL is in SQL, the concept of relational algebra and relational calculus are there. Now data language is a two type. Okay, query language. DML is what? Data manipulation language, and DDL, data definition language. So through DDL we define the schema, we define the attributes, we define the data type, we define the constraint, we define the view. Okay, we define the security. But through DML we search the data. Okay, we search the data, we update the data, we delete the data, we insert the data. through data manipulation language. Okay, so data manipulation is what? Say select instruction, select asterisk from EMP, where this one, or select maximum salary from EMP, where this one, and DD is what? Create table instruction, create table name. Okay, and the instructions. So question is, what is view in SQL? Just we have discussed. A view is a virtual table based on the result set of an SQL statement. So this is what, nothing but a SQL statement. Create view name as select column names. We have to select the columns from the table name where condition is there. Are you getting this one? Say one table is there, say student. Here say 4 attributes are there. Say roll number, name, address and phone number. So name of the table is say student. Are you getting this one? Now we need to view, say create view. So we can write like this way. Say create view name, say student view as select column name. Suppose we need roll number and name only. From which table? From the student table name. Okay, where we can put one condition, where condition say if roll number is till 100, less than 100. This is nothing but the condition. So create view name, that means what? We have to create another view where only 2 attributes are there, roll number and name. Okay, and here roll number is what? Up to 100 we can see, and name of the view is what? Student view. Through this name of this view we can access this particular view, and that we have collected data from this particular student. So this is nothing but our view. This is the actual file. So here we define only the file. Actual data must be stored in the student. Uses of view. Views can represent a subset of the data contained in a table. So definitely we put some of the data, subset of the data. A view can limit the degree of exposure of the given table to the outside world. User may have permission to query the view while denied access to the rest of the database table. See, this is what only here 4 attributes are there. So, but for the outside world, we expose only these 2 attributes. Okay, it may be possible these two attributes are for the administrative purpose. Are you getting this one? Next, view can act as a aggregated tables. The database engine aggregates data, say sum, average, max, and present the calculated result as part of the data. Okay, so we can calculate, we can use the aggregate function, aggregate operation, and we can store as a view in another table. Now view can hide the complexity of the data. Say 100 tables are there, 100 attributes are there, but we need only say 5 attributes. So if a person just see this 100 tables, so he or she will confuse. Okay, so to reduce the complexity of the data, we just expose only 5 attributes. And so if the attributes are less, conveniently anyone can access this particular data, can handle this particular table. Now view take little space to store. The database contains the definition of a view, not a copy of all the data which is present. Are you getting this one? So here we do not store the data. Okay, so that means what? It is not redundant. So roll number 1, it is not there. You just define the view. Actually data present in this particular actual table. So you just retrieve the data from the original table to access the data. So that data must not store in this particular view table. Are you getting this one? So that's it takes little store. It stores only the definition of the view. And that is the end of this particular video. Thank you.